this video we will discuss about some of the drug resistant mechanism in the pancreatic cancer. So this video, for some people, this video might like a revision of our previous videos, as some of these topics might act as a repetition of our previous videos. So let us start with first drug resistant mechanism that is used by pancreatic cancer cells to prevent the drug to act against them. First one is this hypoxic microenvironment. So in this hypoxic microenvironment means that the tumor microenvironment that is nearby the pancreatic cells will have less oxygens available, and these things are being triggered by this reactive oxygen species and HIF1. So this will act as a barrier for the drug to target these pancreatic cells. So another drug resistant mechanism, pancreatic tumor cells use this extracellular matrix. We have discussed about this extracellular matrix, or in other term we can call it as a tumor microenvironment, in one of our videos in which we have discussed the metabolic changes that occurred in the pancreatic cancers that leads to the tumor microenvironment, such that one of the case is the efflux of the lactate that will lead to the decrease in the pH near the pancreatic cancer cells or in the tumor microenvironment, that will weaken the immune response. And simultaneously what happens is that simultaneously other things that happens in this is the amino acid that are detriment or that are critical for the immune response, such as arginine and tyrosines, are being either converted into the other product in the tumor microenvironment, or are being consumed by these pancreatic cells, so that it will further weaken the immune response in the tumor microenvironment. And other things, and the next thing that happens in these pancreatic cancer cells that prevent the drug or cause the drug resistance is this deregulated signaling pathways. So most of the drug therapies, or even the chemotherapies, that are not so much efficient on these pancreatic cells because of the deregulated signaling pathways. So some of these deregulating pathways is this P13K pathway is upregulated. So because of this, what happens is that it will promote the tumor proliferation and growth. And simultaneously, this because of the upregulation of this P13K pathway, and also the aberrant changes in the glycosylation, this nuclear factor kappa beta will not be act against to trigger apoptosis of these tumor cells. And these things could be because of this nuclear factor kappa beta will not be able to interact to its counter receptor parts of the tumor cells because of the aberrant glycosylation or hypersilation is one of the examples. Next thing that happens next things that leads to this drug resistance is this cancer stem cells. So what happens, what function this cancer stem cell does is it will accelerate the production of this tumor cells, and simultaneously uh, it will prevent the chemotherapy it will decrease the efficiency of the chemotherapies. In other terms, we can say that, as it will produce the counter enzymes to it will produce the counter enzymes or proteins to deal with the chemotherapies. And the final things that and the final main point that helps in the drug resistance is this genetic deregulation that we have discussed in one of our previous videos about this KRAS mutation on nuclear factor kappa and BRCA is also other deregulations that will cause the drug resistance. So what happens in this case is that the pancreatic tumor cells that originates in the pancreas will go into this EMT transition or epithelial to mesenchymal transition because of this upregulation of this notch and ZEB1 snail TGF beta, and this EMT transition will help this pancreatic cells to spread from one part of the organs to the other part, and this upregulation of this notch, ZEB, SNEL, and TGF beta 1 will also produce a counter environment such that such that it weakens the immune response, or weakens the immune response. In other terms, it will promote this aberrant glycosylation such as hypersilations that will not only helps the tumor cells in the metastasis but also prevents them from this immune attack. And so this is the final main drug resistance mechanism uh, that is mentioned in the figure. If you need to understand more about this drug resistance mechanism in the pancreatic cancer, you can go through the reference that has been provided in the description. That's all for this video. Thank you for your time.